Welcome back. There is a live look outside at the Oregon coast, our In its Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera in Lincoln City. Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. It can be hard to enjoy the great outdoors when you have foot pain. Here to help us alleviate the symptoms of plantar fasciitis, we welcome the author of Own Your Wellness, health coach Daniella Dayoub Forrest. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Let's talk about the basics of what is plantar fasciitis. Do people sometimes have symptoms and not really realize what's wrong?
Yeah, I think most of us have probably had it at one point
Sure.
or another. And you can be walking and feel just that little bit of tightness in your arch or a little bit of achiness. If it gets really, really bad, it can wake you up at night. You can get sort of throbbing.
Yeah.
And it's relatively unrelenting unless you do something to stop it.
Okay, do you feel it more in the sole of your foot or up in maybe the calf area? Does it kind of depend on your exact circumstance?
Most people, it's the plantar fascia is the connective tissue in the bottom of your foot.
Okay.
So it connects from the base of your toes up across your ankle.
Okay.
Right? Across your heel.
What leads to that inflammation?
Well, it can be tightness, first of all. So, and it can start as high as your lower leg. A lot of
Yeah.
us have really tight calves, so that's the first problem. And then, ankle mobility. If you're sort of stuck in these stiff shoes all the time, you're not stretching, that lack of ankle mobility, the tightness in the Achilles tendon, can really pull on that plantar fascia and cause the inflammation.
And a lot of people work on their feet, and that can be really tough too.
Working on your feet, sitting all the time,
Yeah.
they can both be a problem. If you've gained weight suddenly, that can put a little extra pressure on your feet. And also if you have very high or very low arches, because that just predisposes the foot to being less flexible to begin with.
You have thoughts for us on footwear, of which my footwear today is not very accommodating. These Spice Girl platform sneakers.
They are very cute.
Bad example though.
And the reason behind that is there's all these tiny little muscles in the bottom of our feet, not just that connective tissue, and it needs to be pliable, it needs to move around. When we're in these stiff shoes that don't allow the foot to move, then the inflammation gets worse.
Okay. So making sure that you have the proper accommodations for whatever your arch is.
But flip-flops also make it worse. In fact, my first flare-up this year was from that first time you wore the flip-flops on the hot day.
Just those super flat,
I just regretted it the next day for sure.
I know.
It got me quick.
And then you have some ideas as well for stretching and exercising to either kind of help heal or prevent it in the first place.
Yes. Well, so stretching the ankles, so doing lower leg stretches where you can press against the wall and push your heel into the ground gently. Making sure that you're not exercising on a cold body, get a little bit warmed up, because you go for a jog and you haven't moved all day, you could really stress that connective tissue.
Okay. Tell me about this little rubber ball that we have here. Yes.
This is my favorite ball. I think my daughter got it in a play date, for playing jacks or something, but it's about the size of a golf ball. I like this because it's softer than a golf ball, but you could use a golf ball, and you can stick something like this underneath your desk. I would suggest you start sitting down first, and then as you sort of roll the ball up and down your foot, you're going to go from the heel all the way up to the base of the big toes. And when you find a spot that's particularly tender, like my arch there, you're just going to kind of melt into it. So I would do this for a few minutes on both feet. Again, you can start sitting down, so there's less weight into it. And then afterwards, you want to get an ice pack and ice the bottom of your foot. You could also use, a plastic water bottle frozen. That's a nice way to kind of roll the bottom of the feet and to alleviate the inflammation.
Yeah, hot and cold, depending on how you use them, can be so beneficial. You talked about warming up before you
Warming
move.
up first and then icing afterwards. Oh, that feels so good. The other thing is people tend to get very, very stiff, not just in the ankle, but in the toes. We don't really use our toes a lot when we're walking as we should. So I have my clients start on all fours. And then tuck their toes under, making sure the little pinky toe doesn't get left out. And then you want to bring your heels together. And you're going to, if that's enough, that might be a stretch for a lot of people. If you're pretty flexible like I am, you can start putting more and more weight onto your heels.
Simple as that, though.
That's it. And you just want to make sure you keep your heels together, because they're going to want to splay out to avoid the stretch.
Do you have any other stretches that you like to do?
There's a really nice, easy way to stretch your calves out is again in that on all fours, and you just take a foot behind you and push that ankle back and it just gives you so much relief. Then you can also bend the knee and extend the knee. And what that does is it stretches not just the superficial muscles, but the deeper soleus.
Okay, and it's kind of a different version of you would standing up, but does it have a little bit more benefit depending on exactly,
well, you can control the pressure a lot better, and actually you can
go.
get pretty deep this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, good thing you're here. Thank you so much. So much
My
great
pleasure.
information.
It was fun.
The book again is Own Your Wellness, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.